Sometimes we just want something healthy and something delicious at the same time, and that's what we're making today. We are making a Mexican and Japanese fusion style tuna bowl. Yep, you heard me. So, without further ado, people, let's make this shit. Okay, so for today, I am making a spicy tuna bowl. And it's going to be very delicious. It's going to be very much Japanese inspired. It's going to have some Mexican flavors to it. So it's going to be a combination between Japanese and Mexican cuisine. Marry those together, and then we're going to get an awesome bowl. Is it healthy? Could it be healthy? Absolutely. Yeah, it's all in what you do, what you put in. So without further ado, let's make this shit. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to start off with the cucumbers. So first we're going to take a bunch of little mini cucumbers and we're going to just dice these up. Just nice little slices. You don't want them too thin, but just a little thin. Almost like a little thicker than I don't know, a quarter. And then once these are done, we're going to move them into a bowl where we're going to extract all the water from them. That's really important in this process. Once in a bowl, we're going to heavily salt these. This is going to extract all the water. And yeah, we will rinse these off in the end, but you want to extract as much water as possible. And then we're going to move on to some more of our process, which is the onions. So I'm going to take a whole purple onion. I'm going to half it and then I'm going to cut into thin slices so then I can go ahead and start pickling it. So for the pickling solution, I'm going to actually use rice wine vinegar. You can use distilled white vinegar. That's perfectly fine because rice wine vinegar isn't cheap. So we're going to put them all in a bowl, and then I would say about a quarter to half a cup of rice wine vinegar. Mix them up and let them sit there for at least 20 minutes to 30 minutes. That will give them a good time to start pickling, and you can always leave them overnight. That's something you can do as well. All right, now for the sauce. So I've got a can of chipotle chilies and adobo sauce. I'm going to drop those into my blender cup here. And then I'm going to follow up with about a quarter cup of mayo. I'm using Japanese mayo, but use regular if that's all you have. I prefer Japanese. Then, after this process is done, I'm going to start following up with our other ingredients, which includes some miso paste. So I'm going to go ahead and take some miso paste, and I'm going to put in about 1 to 2 tablespoons of miso paste max into this. And then I want to go ahead and follow up with some lime juice. So that's the juice of 1 to 2 limes. And then we're going to blend that on high. While that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and start drying off our cucumbers because they're all done. They're rinsed, they're dry. We've extracted a ton of water from them. Then what I want to do is start making the sauce for this. So you can prep the sauce ahead of time or you can do it here. So I'm adding about 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar. I don't like a lot of sugar, and you can go with honey. I was out of honey that day. Then I'm going to come through with some crushed red chili peppers. So for the crushed red chili peppers, I want to use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of that. And then for some rice wine vinegar, we're going to add in about a tablespoon of that. And the same for some tamari. You can go 2 tablespoons on that. If you only have regular soy sauce, that is perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. And then a tablespoon of some smoked paprika. This is going to give it that nice Mexican vibe that we're also looking for. And then if you don't have limes, you have lemon like I did, just use that. So go ahead and squeeze out half a lemon and then give this a good mix. Set it in the fridge, let it sit there because the tuna is going to cook really fast. So we want to prep all this ahead of time. Now, these look awesome. So let's work on the sauce that our tuna is going to cook in. So that's going to start off with a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. You can use oyster if you want to. And then 1 to 3 tablespoons of tamari. I would recommend 1 to 2. 1 to 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, a tablespoon of chili crisp, and then the juice of half a lemon to go in there as well. And we're going to mix this up. Remember, you don't have to do this, but it is a crucial and good step. It makes the tuna taste really good. Once it's mixed up, we're going to put it into a pot or pan, whatever you have, on low and let it simmer. Now we'll move on to our tuna while that sauce is simmering. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a lot of fresh ground black pepper on both tuna steaks here. And give both of these a good flippity flip like Arnie Tex likes to say, and pepper the other sides. Now I'm going to set these aside in my fridge for a little bit because I have to work on the rice. So for the crispy garlic rice, what I'm going to do is heat up a wok with about a quarter cup of avocado oil. Then I'm going to add in about 8 cloves of minced garlic here, and I'm going to lightly cook this minced garlic. I don't want it to brown too much, but just get a nice light brownish color. I don't want to burn them. So once I get them to where I want them to be, which is right there, I'm going to set them aside off the heat, and then I'm going to start adding in my rice. You can use day-old rice if you want to make a really nice fried rice. That works really well. So I have some rice here. I'm going to put it in the wok, start heating it up, cooking it in that oil, and then I'm going to start adding in the next ingredient. And by next ingredient, yes, more tamari. I really love this stuff. So I'm going to add some tamari in here. You can use regular, soy sauce. It's perfectly fine. And I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons max of that. And then I'm going to give this a nice mix on a very, very low heat. You can increase the temperature a little bit if you want, to maybe almost medium, just depends on your range. Yeah, that's about it. And this came out really awesome. So then I'm going to move on to searing the steaks. So onto a ripping hot pan with avocado oil in it, I'm going to drop in our tuna steaks. And I want to sear both sides of these before I introduce the sauce. When adding in the sauce, I'm just going to drip it over the top of the tuna steaks. And then I want to make sure all sides get a lot of that good, nice sauce that we made here. It came out really, really awesome. Once fully cooked on both sides and we get that nice caramelization there, we're going to go ahead and start slicing our tuna steaks. Now, I like mine a little bit more on the rare side, so to each his own. And so I'm just going to make nice thin slices through here before I start plating. Then I'm going to go ahead and start plating here. I've got a bowl and I'm going to fill it up with that nice, lovely, crispy, garlicky rice that we made. Then I'm going to follow up with some jalapenos, put it in the tuna in the middle, then our pickled red onions, some cilantro, and that chipotle sauce that we worked on earlier. Drizzle that over the top. And then we can't forget some furikake, which would be awesome here. And then, of course, our lovely cucumbers that we made earlier. And people, by now, we're ready to eat. All right, we're done here. Here it is. And yeah, let's go ahead and try this. So get some of the tuna with the rice. Some of these onions, because these onions are freaking insane. Wow. That is damn good. Oh, wow. Okay, so I gotta go because I'm gonna eat this. And yeah, cheers. Thanks for watching.